We just cannot afford to let these animals become extinct on our watch. The tipping point is essentially where the kill rate of rhinos exceeds the birth rate. That point has been reached. The numbers are in serious decline and the stakes are so high. The price of rhino horn being $75,000 a kilo or thereabouts, a good sized rhino will have a horn of 5 to 7 kilos. You can see how much money is actually on the tables. The poachers are ruthless and the possibility of extinction is real. You've got the Indian Ocean, you've got Mozambique, then you've got the Kruger National Park, then you've got South Africa. So Mozambique is one of the poorest countries on the planet. What will happen is that probably 3 poachers will, of a night, walk across the border, and one of the poachers will carry a significant gun, not a pea shooter. The second one will carry either a machete or a saw, which is just unbelievable. And the third one will probably carry the communications, the mobile phones, and some food. They will run up to 20 kilometers through lions, elephants, snakes, people, shoot the rhino, take the horn off, and then be back across the border by daylight. Now that horn will change hands probably 6 times from the time that the poachers get it through to when it goes to Maputo and somehow finds its way into Asia. About 2 years ago, a friend of mine in South Africa contacted me and suggested that perhaps it might be an idea to investigate starting a breeding herd here in Australia, because from an ecological point of view and climatic point of view, it was a good fit. We started down the path of seeing whether it was realistic by first talking to the University of Sydney Vet School and then with the Taronga Conservation Society Australia to see if they'd be interested in supporting us. Their interest is not only conservation, but also the genetic diversity for the rhinos that they already have here in Australia. Our plan has been to import approximately 80 rhinos over a 4-year period. That will give us a critical mass, and the intention has always been that once the situation stabilizes in South Africa, and please God it does, that we would repatriate those rhinos. From Australia's point of view, we believe it's safer. If a poacher had to do what they're now doing in South Africa, is fly in on a helicopter, shoot the rhino, cut the horn off, and go where? So that's the distance and remoteness, we believe, is an important point. Another point is that relatively speaking, there is no corruption in Australia as there is in certain parts of Africa. Equally, there is no poverty in Australia as there is extreme poverty in both Africa and Asia. And I think the final point is that I don't believe the media would accept if one rhino was poached in Australia. I just think it would be like the Third World War, quite frankly. I have a dream that I could go to a place and I could see elephants and buck and all sorts of wildlife which is threatened and not threatened in Australia, because I think climatically and ecologically and from an acceptance point of view, the Australians, I think, would accept it well. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen except, frankly, cost and approval from government for disease management. The Australian government has been extremely supportive of us in terms of giving us the tax deductibility status, the donor gift recipient status. That's really important for us and for people who want to make donations. The rhinos are pretty much ready to go as soon as we get the approval from the Australian government from a quarantine point of view. Then they need to be darted and captured and moved to the quarantine facility, and there is an opportunity for significant donors to participate in that. Then there's opportunities all the way in terms of perhaps naming them, seeing them, putting your name or your company's name on the crate. It's not an inexpensive exercise to bring rhinos across the ocean.